My life's a story before me, and I'll try and find a way to be free finally. I'll reach the new world. The game has only just begun. I can see it in your eyes. This is where tomorrow brings a new game. It's time to learn the pain is gain. Ready, fight!
Hey guys, what's going on? It's your boy Bowser Jr. Fan 13 and welcome back to another top 10 video. So anyways, today's topic is about Blazblue. Man, I love the Blazblue games. I've recently bought Blazblue Calamity Trigger, Chrono Phantasma, and Cross Tag Battle for last Christmas. Of course, I've been playing both games like in celebration of Blazblue getting rollback netcode in the future this year, of course. But man, Blazblue is such an amazing game with its cool anime design, its wonderful gameplay, its very cool yet complicated story, and of course the big topic of this video, the characters. So anyways, you know the drill. I'm going to be doing a top 10 list of my favorite Blazblue characters. There will be honorable mentions in this video, and not only that, I will also be talking about these characters based on their story or what I know about them, based on their designs and their gameplay, and what I like about them the most. But, of course, with their story, it's going to be a little complicated because I've only completed Calamity Trigger's story mode, so there's that. I haven't played Chrono Phantasma story mode yet, and I didn't even buy Continuum Shift, so forgive me for not knowing much. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into this action, shall we? Number 10, Bang Shigami. Now, if there's one thing you should know, this character is without a doubt one of the most weirdest joke characters of all time. And another thing you should know is that I hate joke characters, especially characters like Boraicho, Hercule Satan, and especially Dan Hibiki when it comes to video games. However, out of all the joke characters in video games, Bang Shigami seems to be one of the characters that's, well, not much of a joke character, but if he was, then he's the only exception to joke characters that I would hate, because Bang is actually pretty cool. Anyways, what goes on in his story is that he is the last remaining survivor of the Ikaruga War between the Noelle, and because of this, he has to do whatever it takes to protect his village. And not only that, he wants to get revenge on Jin Kisaragi for killing his master. So judging by what he goes through, I kind of feel bad for him because the dude like lost his home and his master, so I really feel sorry for this guy. Plus, he's pretty funny. I mean, like, he's so arrogant, overconfident. He basically is one of those characters who, like, fight first, talk later, something like that. Plus, he is a total simp for Lychee. Like, seriously, this dude is crushing on her, and he's like, so simping for her. Like, honestly, I don't even know what to say about it. It's just too hilarious. Design-wise, I gotta say, not bad for a character who looks like a ninja. I'd say he looks like a pretty cool character to play as. I mean, he obviously does not look like a joke character, but hey, I mean, at least he's got a cool design. Gameplay-wise, well, his gameplay is pretty decent. It's not the worst, but it's decent. His moveset, not much to say about it. He's basically what every ninja does. Runs fast, punch and kick. They can throw ninja stars, and I think he can use some weird elemental attacks like fire or something. It's something that one of those ninjas do in like other games and movies. Like I can't really recall, but it kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy IV with Edge's ninja magic. But anyways, overall, I think Bang Shigami is just such a wonderful character and such an amazing comic relief character. Oh, plus, one more thing I also want to mention, like his whole motivation he basically does all this out of love and justice, and he sees himself as some type of superhero, which, again, it's hilarious.
You will not have your way, for Bang Shishigami is here to save the day!
Number 9, New 13. Now, this is a weird choice. Like, out of all the characters you could pick for the next spot, you chose New 13. Well, New is sort of a special choice for me. Basically, what goes on with her in the Blazblue series is that she's supposed to be some type of robot girl who's a clone of Ragna's sister Saya. It's confusing. Like, the majority of her story, she just basically, whenever she sees anybody, she just straight up destroys anyone in her path, so she's kind of like a villain. But whenever she's around Ragna, she has these weird feelings for him, as if, like, she's in love with him, even though it's weird because she's a clone of his sister. But I digress. The way his relationship is with her, like, she is, like, a complete yandere girl who is just obsessed with the dude. Like, she'll even go through great lengths, like, attacking him and even, trapping him into the cauldron to... Okay, I won't spoil, what goes on in, that part, but, like, I think those of you who play Blazblue, you know what I'm talking about. But anyways, still, she is just, like, cute and hilarious and weird in all different ways. Design-wise, I gotta admit, like, seeing her robot form is just, like, so amazing. Like, I can't believe, like, out of many robot forms you would see in video games, New has gotta have one of the best good-looking armors when it comes to robot designs. Gameplay-wise, well, I love her gameplay. She is really fun to play, and I love her moveset, especially her astral finish, where she sends out a giant sword, like, basically charging right at you from the top and basically impaling you, like, dang. Though she is very complicated to learn, though, but still, once you get used to her, then she's no problem to play with. Overall, New is just so wonderful, and I know there's not a lot of people who like this character, but I just like her for the weirdness that she offers to the story.
Idea engine status normal. All systems go. Come on, Ragna! Let's dance!
Number 8, Rachel Alucard. Rachel is some type of, like, human, like, vampire in the Blazblue series, who's a very important character because she basically, like, views everything, she knows everything, and basically goes around trying to help some characters, especially Ragna. But in Ragna's case, she basically tells him, oh, certain things are gonna happen, and when Ragna asks why, what's going on, or how's this doing, or something like that, she doesn't really explain it that much, which I don't understand why, but hey, that's Rachel for you. I get the feeling that even though there are a bunch of characters who hate Ragna, Rachel, she doesn't hate him, I'm guessing she just wants to screw with his mind, considering that she doesn't really explain much to him. Or she's just teasing him and stuff, as shown in some parts of the Blazblue story mode. But anyways, regardless, she is a force to be reckoned with. She's pretty tough, she's not scared of anything. And would you really consider her to be a vampire? Because she doesn't really drink blood, and we've seen her in the sunlight in the story mode and especially in other games, yet somehow it doesn't affect her. You know, it's kind of a mystery how video games have vampires that are not affected by the sun. Design-wise, she looks pretty amazing for a vampire, even though she looks like just a little kid. Like, I can dig this design. She looks pretty fearsome and cute too, like with the ponytails that make her look like a bunny rabbit. No wonder why Ragna calls her Rabbit. Gameplay-wise, she's pretty fun to play. Her moveset consists of her using her loyal subjects, Naigo and Gi, to attack for her. She can summon lightning. She summons animals out of nowhere just to attack. It's kind of crazy. Though, like new, Rachel is hard to learn to play in the games. But once you get used to her, you should have no problem with her. But overall, Rachel is just one of the greatest characters I've ever seen, and she's very important to the story. So, like, a game without Rachel, it just wouldn't feel right. I apologize for my stuttering and for my voice because I am currently, like, just a little bit sick or something like that, but whatever. It's not gonna stop me from making this video.
Guy, Nago, prepare the tea. This will be over by the time it's ready.
Number 7, Tao Kaka. Tao is, well, how can I put this? She is just a character that's just all over the place. She's basically kind of like the Felicia from Darkstalkers of this series. She doesn't play a big part of the story, but she's just there to be the comic relief character. And who can blame you? She is really funny. She's very forgetful, and she's not really that smart. But what does make her funny is she is just constantly acting like a playful child. And not only that, like, did you know, like Tao, basically she can't remember everybody's names, which kind of explains why she just gives these nicknames to all these characters. Like, come on, Good Guy, Iceman, Scruffy Man, Shorty, Booby Lady. Like, what kind of nicknames are these? And I think you guys know what type of characters I'm talking about, because, like, Tao definitely uses these names for certain characters. Design-wise, well, Tao has a pretty decent design. Like, I'm not hating on it. Like, it's basically, like, a human-like design, which is also kind of a cat, yet we don't see her face. And it's kind of confusing, yet it's pretty, funny, too. You know, I kind of wonder what's underneath her hood, because she kind of gives off that little Mimikyu vibe, if you guys know what I'm talking about. Gameplay-wise, well, she's very easy to learn to play as, and man is she fun. I love her creative moveset. Her moves are just really amazing, and I love her astral finish too. It's very funny. It just has her little cat friends bouncing the opponent back and forth like they're playing ball, and then it ends with Tao pulling out her claws and slashing them like she's slashing them with a sword. Like, whoa, that is like pretty amazing. Overall, like, I cannot see a Blazblue game or story without Tao, because come on, who doesn't want Tao in a Blazblue game? Like, she's just too funny and too adorable to leave out.
Tao's hungry. Meow. Bring it on.
Number 6, Noelle Vermillion. Noelle is hands down one of the most iconic female characters in video games and in the Blazblue series. She's basically the series' tritagonist. Basically what that means is the third main character of the whole series. So anyways, with her deal, she is one of the members of the Noelle who works alongside her friends Makoto, Tsubaki, and as well as Jin Kisaragi. Basically, she was given orders in Calamity Trigger to hunt down Ragna the Blood Edge, who is a wanted criminal to the Noelle, since they are enemies, and to bring in Jin and stop him from going after Ragna. So anyways, when she encounters Ragna, she has these weird memories of him, yet she feels like she doesn't even know him. And it gets even weirder and confusing too, because after, like, Ragna is going to suffer his fate of the endless cycle of basically things that he's going through with Nu, luckily before he falls into the cauldron, Noelle saves his life, and I guess he owes her the favor by saving her life too from the hands of Tirami or Hazuma or any other villain. So I guess they're pretty chill together. Anyways, design-wise, I gotta admit, Noelle, she is adorable and cute, and that's exactly what I would see in a female representative of an anime fighting game. And there's two different types of designs, just one with her hat on or one without her hat on. it's kind of weird, but personally, I like it with like when she has her hat off. I mean, her hairstyle is just amazing. Gameplay wise, I really love her gameplay. She's very simple and easy to learn, and plus I love her gameplay. Like, mainly she fights using her guns, and she has this weird type of energy, like surging thing that basically charges at her opponents with kicks. She's basically the equivalent of Jill Valentine in Marvel vs. Capcom 2 and 3, and it is amazing. Overall, Noelle is just, I mean, I've already said this before, but she's just amazing. She's one of the best female characters. I mean, she's not my #1 favorite female character in the series, nor my favorite #1 character in the whole series, but she's right up there. And hey, with Noelle, I think everything would be just fine.
Please surrender. There's no need for us to fight.
Number 5, Hakumen. Hakumen is not your average character that you usually see in fighting games. If I have to guess, he's mostly the game's sub-boss, because in most arcade modes, like when I play certain character arcade modes, he's usually treated as the sub-boss, especially in Calamity Trigger. And oh my god, is he something. But before I get into that, his story, I don't know too much about Hakumen, but from what I know in Calamity Trigger, he was one of the original 6 heroes who fought the Black Beast during the war. And not only that, I think he has some type of mysterious, some mysterious intentions or something that's going on with the Black Beast or Ragna. Like, he knows that Ragna has the Azure Grimoire, which is connected to the Black Beast, and he wants to kill him for that. And I don't know what's his deal with Kokonoe, but she seems like she doesn't like him or something. Like, he is a mysterious character to be around, though. Like, I don't know what's his deal, but he's basically doing all this stuff for the sake of being good or heroic. Design-wise, I mean, you gotta hand it to him. He looks amazing. Like, he's got that cool, awesome, shiny silver armor. Like, who cannot be scared of that? Not to mention, his armor has eyeballs on it. No, I'm not joking. Like, if you pay attention to the little red spots, like, you can see some pupils inside of it, which basically means they're like an extra set of eyes. Like, I can't tell if that's his actual eyes or something, but man, that is scary. Gameplay-wise, well, out of all the characters, Hakumen has got to be one of the most difficult to learn, because Hakumen's gameplay is much different from the other Blazblue characters, which probably explains why he's the game's sub-boss, maybe. But anyways, his gameplay mostly focuses on him using his cool, awesome swords and his special weird abilities and counterattacks. Basically, they use up some type of weird meter that's like, fills up to 1 to 8. Like, it's kind of strange. It's hard to explain, but, basically these little dots that act as meters, they're basically kind of like Hakumen's, meter for his supers and astral finishes and all that stuff. His attacks are pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But man, is he hard as hell, because whenever I played Calamity Trigger, I remember Hakumen always beats me, and he keeps on making me struggle every time I try to get past to him, yet I fail to do so because he's just so difficult to fight. But overall, Hakumen is hands down a really cool sub-boss and a really cool character.
I am the void. I am steel. I am the sword. I am Hakumen. The end has come.
Number 4, Lychee Fei-Ling. Okay, remember how I said that Noelle is not one of my #1 favorite female characters in this series? Well, Lychee takes the crown for that. She's basically my waifu of this game. Of course, everyone knows who my actual #1 waifu is, but still, she's probably in the top 10. But anyways, enough of that. Let me talk about why I love Lychee. Her story, it's nothing too serious or something like that. From what I recall, she was a member of the Sector 7 organization who worked alongside Kokonoe and Tiger, but somehow I guess she quit and decided to focus on a different career because she now lives in Kagasuchi and she is a doctor who takes care of her patients, which is pretty amazing. And I think at one point she joined the NOL as shown in Chrono Phantasma. I don't know, but anyways, most of her story is basically like just the majority of her story is just trying to go after this weird monster-like beast called Arachne, who was apparently originally Lychee's lover, but ended up changing into some deformed monster, and she's trying to find a way to cure him. And dang, I feel bad for her that she lost her lover. Like, I mean, I know she's trying so hard to save him. Not to mention, she is a really sweet person, and she's really kind to all the Blazblue characters. Well, some of them. It all depends. But anyways, design-wise, it's a questionable design, but I'm not hating on it. She looks pretty amazing. Her design kind of reminds me of Mai from the Fatal Fury series. So there's that. And I like her little ponytail too. Like, did you know that the little panda inside her ponytail and her hair, it's actually a living creature? It's kind of weird, but it's supposed to help her control her staff during battles. Gameplay-wise, well, to be fair, she is one of the most hardest characters to learn, but I do like her fighting style. She basically fights with her staff, and she can control it with her little panda hair clip. And also, not only that, I think she can shoot out some type of like fire or something. Like, I saw this in one of her supers, if I recalled, in Calamity Trigger. And not only that, she can stand on her pole to dodge attacks and basically be cheap. I guess you're gonna get some people triggered like when you're playing, and I guess that's one way to be a troll. But anyways, not only that, she also has this one astral finish which is super amazing. Like, basically she kicks you with like a mighty powerful kick, and I'm like, oh dang, she looks like she means business. Like, even though it's just one kick, like the presentation of the astral finish does look pretty cool. And from her fighting style, as I said before, well, she doesn't fight like Mai, but she's kind of like a mixture of Chun-Li and I guess you could say she's also kind of Jade from Mortal Kombat like. Overall, Lychee is hands down one of the most coolest female characters in this game. She's my favorite, and of course, she's one of the best characters in this series, and I really love to see her in more games. Plus, I gotta hand it to her. She's really helpful, especially the fact that, did you know that she is a teacher? Yeah, in one of Blazblue's little mini-games, she has this little side story thing called Teach Me Miss Lychee, where she teaches you, Tao, and all the other characters the lore and story inside and outside of Blazblue, just in case if you're confused. I mean, I gotta hand it to her because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't know anything about this series. Heck, I could still barely remember something that she said. But don't worry, I've always got the mini-games to teach me what I need to know.
If one does not plow, there will be no harvest.
Number 3, Jin Kisaragi. Alright, so we finally arrived at the main deuteragonist of the series. If you don't know what that means, it means the second main character. And you know, this is a main character that not a lot of people expected because, I mean, he's not like Sub-Zero, Andy Bogard, Ken Masters, or Nina Williams, but he's some sort of special type of second main character. Anyways, with Jin's story, he is one of the big members of the Novus Orbis Librarium. I think that's what the acronym means, or we just call it the NOL for short. So, in the NOL, he is part of this military force who works alongside characters like Noelle and Tsubaki, and he's an overall jerk. Like, he may act like he's the big hero, especially after the Ikaraga War, but man, he's such a jerk. He's constantly threatening people that he'll kill them without any question. He's always being rude to his partners, except for Tsubaki. But man, he needs to treat Noelle with respect since they're both partners. And he has no remorse for some of his actions, especially the fact that I just said that he killed Bang's master. He has no remorse for any of that. And oh my god, don't even get me started with the fact between him and Ragna, because some crazy stuff happened with their childhood. So basically, Jin was jealous of his older brother because Ragna was spending more time with their sister Saya because of her sickness. And because of this, Jin was manipulated by Tirami to burn down the church, kill the nun that raised all three of them, and especially the fact that he told Jin to stab Ragna and cut his arm off and leave him to die. And nowadays, whenever Ragna is involved, he has the willing and intention to kill him no matter what. He's constantly being creepy and just obsessed with killing him, and I'm like, dang, Jin, you have issues, man. You're so crazy. Along with his personality, design-wise, I gotta say, that's some pretty fancy uniform that he's wearing, especially like with the cool design of his cool sword. Like, basically, kind of reminds me of Sephiroth and Virgil mixed together to make a cool character, along with Sub-Zero, which I'm gonna go into his gameplay, of course. So anyway, his gameplay mostly relies on using ice powers. He can shapeshift ice into any type of weapon or projectile he wants. He can summon a giant sword that he can surf on, a storm of ice or snow and stuff. He can cause blizzards. He can slash people with his sword, which is also made out of ice. And what's even cool is that his astral finish, even though it doesn't look that amazing, like, it's just freezing the whole entire screen and he's just standing there. Like, it could look a little more flashy, but it's still good and powerful regardless. And plus, the best part is that he's even easier to learn as much as the other characters. Like, Jin, you pretty much don't need to have any problems learning how to play as him. Overall, despite the fact that Jin can be such a pain in the neck sometimes, and he's just cruel to the bone at times, deep down, he does have a little bit of moments where he's not such a big jerk, and he doesn't kill Ragna, especially like after like their feud. But still, regardless, Jin can be okay at sometimes, but I still like him because he's awesome. Also, wouldn't it be cool if they had a game where maybe Jin becomes so corrupted with killing his brother and hating others to the point where maybe one day he'll be the main villain of the next game? I would love that concept to become true.
This has been a waste of my time. Get out of my sight.
Number 2, Hazuma. Alright, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Hazuma is one of my biggest, most favorite villains in this whole entire series. Like, despite having a couple of villains in this series, Hazuma takes the cake for the best one. And of course, this is why he's my second favorite Blazblue character. So, it's kind of confusing, but Hazuma is supposed to be like some type of captain or leader or member of the Noelle, since he is friends with Jin and Noelle and Tsubaki and everyone else. But he's also a mysterious man. Like, he always constantly hides who he truly is, and he's always acting mysterious, and he's constantly gloating to others that, oh, you're the best fighter, I am no match for you. I mean, fighting's not my style. Like, he's so full of himself. I just don't understand him. And apparently he's also maybe Terami somehow. I don't know how he transforms into Terami. Are they two separate entities, or are they the same person? It's confusing, but all I know is that he does hate Ragna and Rachel, but with Ragna, he's just giving Ragna so much crap that it's just so weird and confusing. Though I don't know what to say about Rachel and some of the other characters, but regardless, Hazuma is just brilliant. Design-wise, well, I'm not gonna lie. Alright, so Hazuma has hands down one of the best outfits that I've ever seen. Like, man, this dude knows style. He could be the next Michael Jackson for all we know, or the next Joker. Speaking of Joker, did you know that in the Blazblue games, Hazuma has an alternate color where he looks like the Joker from Batman? No, I'm not joking. This is an actual thing. And I can't believe Arc System Works actually made this happen. Oh my god, there's so much Joker fan art with Hazuma that I am just imagining now. Gameplay-wise, Hazuma is more of one of those gray area characters where he's kind of hard to learn, but you will get used to some of his moves, though. So, anyways, Hazuma, most of his moves is using this power called the Ouroboros, so I don't really know how it works, but he can also use chains to grab you and basically go up to you like a grappling hook or something like that. And I love his astral finish. It definitely defines him as a villain overall. He basically summons a giant snake to bite you, because let's face it, when it comes to Hazuma, he is as sneaky as a snake. And god damn, I cannot express this much, but man, I love his theme song. I think it's probably my favorite song throughout the whole Blazblue series. Like, Gluttony Fang, which is Hazuma's theme, it slaps so hard. Like, dang, I've never heard a video game theme that sounded this good with my favorite type of instruments and genre of music. But overall, Hazuma, man, he is literally one of the greatest villains I have ever seen. Despite me not playing Continuum Shift and probably not getting started on the Chrono Phantasma story mode, I still consider Hazuma to be just overall brilliant.
Wow, you are strong! Fighting's not really my thing, so I'm actually pretty jealous. No, really!
Before we get to my number one pick of the list, as always, here are my Bowser Jr. Fan 13 honorable mentions. Jubei. He's the equivalent of Master Splinter and Lord Beerus combined. I mean, he sounds like Lord Beerus from Dragon Ball Super, which is pretty cool. And he's kind of like Master Splinter because, man, he's the one who trained Ragna how to use his Azure Grimoire, and he's one of the 6 heroes. Like, man, this dude is amazing. Celica. Okay, I'm gonna be honest, I don't know anything or much about Celica, but I do like her because she's somehow special in the series. Not to mention, she is one of the only few characters throughout the whole Blazblue franchise who does not give Ragna any crap whatsoever. She's the only one who's like so nice to him. Arachne. Originally a human who was also Lychee's lover, who ended up mutating into this weird monster-like abomination, and now is obsessed with Ragna's Azure Grimoire and wanting to eat everything in sight. Like, dang, he is so creepy and scary. I love his moveset too. Also, his voice reminds me of Shumagorath. Makoto. She is one of Noelle's friends who works in the NOL, and she's basically Tifa Lockhart mixed with Squirrel Girl if they were in an anime, and it's so adorable. Okay everyone, now we are at my final pick of the list, and I think you all know who it is. It's no surprise. Number 1, Ragna the Blood Edge. I mean, hey, I love main characters, especially when it comes to characters like Ragna. So Ragna is the main protagonist of the BlazBlue series, and he's super iconic. Alright, so basically he has like the most tragic and yet gruesome story throughout the whole entire series. So basically, to try and summarize everything about him, Ragna, he was an orphan raised by a nun alongside his brother Jin and his sister Saya. One day, Saya got caught with a mysterious disease, so Ragna decided to be a good big brother and help tend to her. But because of Jin's jealousy, I don't know what happened to Saya, but the church was burnt down, and Jin, motivated by tyranny, cut off Ragna's arm and left him to die. Luckily, Ragna did not die because he survived thanks to the help of a girl named Rachel, who gives him the Azure Grimoire so that he can survive. But Jubei, who also raised him, decides to train him to use this power and see if he's able to use it for good. But anyways, with this new power, Ragna basically decides to become the Grim Reaper, but I don't really see that in him because despite him wanting to be a Grim Reaper, he's actually a pretty nice guy if you think about it. I mean, yeah, he's a jerk like many other characters, but he can sometimes be nice to certain characters. That is, if they don't annoy him like Tao or Rachel or Platinum and stuff. But man, people really hate him just because over their personal reasons, or mainly it's because of his bounty. He has a bounty on his head for like 90 billion, whatever their currency is. Like, he is the public enemy number 1 to the NOL, and everyone is after him for his bounty, or either for his Azure Grimoire. Dang, this dude is so unlucky. But as I said, there are some characters who don't have a personal grudge against Ragna and tends to help him out. Like Noelle, who did save his life at one point. Tao, she's nice to him, but he has to deal with her stupidity. Lychee, I think at first she didn't really have much against him, except now she wants his Azure Grimoire. But Celica, as I said before, she's the only one who's like mostly nice to him and stuff. But anyways, Ragna, despite going through all this, he's still the big hero in the end. Design-wise, well, I can't lie. Ragna has hands down one of the most badass, coolest looking designs throughout all of BlazBlue. Cause man, this screams main character. Spiky hair, long, giant big sword, and cool outfit. I mean, come on, if this is not a main character, then I don't know what is. Gameplay-wise, man, I love his gameplay. He is literally the most easiest character to learn. I've learned a few combos with this character, and man, he's so fun to play. I love his attacks, too. The Dead Spike, Hell's Fang, Gauntlet Hades, Blood Scythe, Inferno Divider, they're all pretty amazing. Especially his supers like Carnage Scissors, his Blood Cane, Engulfed by Darkness, I think that's what it was called. And of course, his Astral Finish Black Onslaught. It looks so cool. Ragna even turns like his sword into a scythe, and he even grows a big giant devil-like bat wing, which is so amazing. Overall, Ragna is just so awesome. He's so cool. He has the best gameplay. He has the best moveset, the best design. Everything about Ragna screams everything that I love in a main character. A cool anime edgy-like character with a cool personality, and basically, he just overall amazing. Despite him going through so much crap throughout the whole series, he's still fun to watch regardless. And that's why Ragna is my #1 favorite BlazBlue character.
You done wasting my time yet? I've got things to do, places to be.
Okay, I'm finally finished, and that's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. If you like what you like, you know the drill. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. And let me know in the comments down below who is your favorite BlazBlue character. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace out, everyone.